So some of the things that I'm hearing there, firstly, is that you must first recognize where you are as a person, right? Secondly, you must have a goal that you set for yourself. And I think that's why we are attracted to the story of the Comrades Marathon. Now, as you're talking about preparing for, we're still going to, take all of these nuggets and help the student that is out there who might be struggling, who might be, having a goal, but sometimes they struggle and fall by the wayside, right? How do they actually apply these nuggets of wisdom towards their studies?
Looking at my talent, looking at my time, looking at what I can manage. But still pushing myself to ensure that I get the best within that. So that's the basic things. The issue is around preparation. How you prepare for that based on the goals that you have, based on who you are in terms of your talent and your goal and the time that you have in order for you to accomplish the goals. Then the rest of the things, they fall in place.
Good day, Bashana, and this is your favorite uncle, Mlungisi Nkosi. I've committed this year to really try and assist you in terms of your studies, and so we're going to have a really great conversation today in relation to running, but the surprise is we're going to help you apply just all the wisdom and the nuggets towards your studies. So today I have got with us Dr. Ezekiel Mathole, and I want to tell you about his accomplishments. He is he's born in Soweto. He's a husband, he's a father, he's a pastor, he's a writer. Guys, he's published 4 books in 2 years. And there's another one coming. Shh, don't tell anybody. He's a coach, he's an activist, he's a community leader, and also his vocational path over the years stems from education, community development, and into ministry engagement. Give it up for Bishop Dr. Ezekiel Mathole, everybody. Sawubona, Bishop.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right.
And to your audience, thank you for having me.
No, thank you. We were attracted to your story because not only are you a Comrades runner, all the regalia is there, First of all, I just wanted us to have a conversation, just a candid conversation, but you are also going to help us, to apply all of these nuggets of wisdom in terms of just how you pace your life as a person. But I want us to talk about Comrades. First of all, what attracted you to running? Why running?
I think what attracted me to running was that my wife used to go out at awkward times early in the morning to go and run. So I used to be concerned about her security. She did it for almost a year. The second year I said, nah, I don't like her going out around 5 o'clock. Sometimes it's still dark, she's running. So I started to run with her. And that's how I started to run. So after running, I said, no, man, I must have a goal. Why do I just run for the sake of running? Found people around me who were running, started to join them as they were running, and then we formed a training group. Then we said, why can't we do some marathons? Then same year, why can't we do Comrades? So that's how we ended up running Comrades Marathon.
Wow. Yeah. What started purely by chance, and it was something that you didn't really plan.
Yes.
Now has become something that you are really committed to.
Very much.
This is incredible. This is incredible. So as part of that, I just wanted to borrow some nuggets. We've got an audience here that is composed of young people. Some of them are studying, some of them are upgrading. In fact, when I thought about this segment, just to tell you, when I thought about this segment, I thought about all the people that might be upgrading this year that may not necessarily be able, to get someone to mentor them. But I wanted to actually make sure that they can get someone that they can, refer to, so that they can pace their lessons, right? They can be accountable to someone. But tell me, before we get into the serious stuff today, so running, I know that there's things that you do when you run,
Yeah.
right? So tell us about what helps you prepare for Comrades.
I think Comrades, first you have to understand the distance. That if it's a down run, you are looking at about 90 kilometers. If it's an up run, you're looking at 87 kilometers. So it's a long run. So you have to prepare yourself for that. So you already know the distance. So you must set the goal. You must set the goal to say, I want to run this 90 or 87 and complete it. And when you set the goal, you can, the maximum you are allowed to finish Comrades is 12 hours. So there's people who finish it sub 6 hours, sub 7 hours, sub 8 hours, sub 9 hours, sub 10, sub 11, and sub 12. So those are the goals that are possible. So you set a goal. Once you set a goal, if you say I want to finish it in 6 hours, in 7 hours, you must come with a training regime that will help you to accomplish that. So it means as an individual, what you need to do, you have to look at yourself. You have to look at yourself and say, what is my talent? What is my gift when it comes to running? What is the appetite I have? What is the time I have in order for me to work, to train and get this goal? So there's people who finish Comrades sub 6. Most of them don't work. They're elite runners. So running is their business. So that if you are a person like myself, you have a job, you have a family, you have other community responsibilities, you have to know to say, how do I manage my time in order for me to train within a reasonable goal? Wow. So then I will set my goal. Looking at my talent, looking at my time, looking at what I can manage. Sure. But still pushing myself to ensure that I get the best within that. So that's the basic things. The issue is around preparation. How you prepare for that based on the goals that you have, based on who you are in terms of your talent and your goal and the time that you have in order for you to accomplish the goals. Then the rest of the things, they fall in place. Yeah.
Wow. So some of the things that I'm hearing there, firstly is that you must first recognize where you are as a person.
Yeah.
Right? Secondly, you must have a goal that you set for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we were attracted to the story of the Comrades Marathon.
Yeah.
Now, as you're talking about preparing for, we're still going to, take all of these nuggets and help the student that is out there who might be struggling, who might be, having a goal, but sometimes they struggle and fall by the wayside, right? Yeah. How do they actually apply these nuggets of wisdom towards their studies? We're still coming to that. Tell us a little bit about the Comrades bus. When we thought about this concept, I was really attracted to the idea of having a bus. What is a Comrade, for any runner, what is a bus?
A bus is just a group of runners who have the same goal in terms of time when they want to finish the Comrades Marathon, if they are running, or any other marathon. It's like in a classroom. Okay? So a bus is like a classroom. When a student is in a classroom, he's got fellow mates. All of them, maybe they're in grade 12 or grade 11, and all of them have specific subjects they're taking, but they know what they want to achieve. At the end of the day, they've got exams that they need to pass. So when we run a marathon, at the beginning, there's different buses. So when you train, you would have trained according to the bus you're going to join. So if, let's say, we are on in Comrades, there's a bus that runs 9 hours. It's definite they want to finish Comrades in 9 hours. So they're trained for 9 hours. So you join them. So along the way they're going to pace, they're going to rest, the way they're going to refuel, the way they're going to inspire and motivate one another and deal with the obstacles. They're going to make sure that they manage within 9 hours and achieve the bus and achieve the goal. So the bus is just a group of people who have the same goal, who have a leader who's leading this bus. They always have a flag. And the rest of us, when we join that bus, we sing together, we inspire one another, and we know that we are in this bus together. And all of us As long as we stick together, keep the pace, discipline ourselves, it is guaranteed we are going to get our 9 hours and we're going to get our medals. The same way, the student, as long as they are in class, learn as they should, stay in their study group, ensure that they motivate one another, hence inspire one another. They will get the grades that they want to get in terms of the goals they have, to pass their grade. Yeah.
Wow. I like the fact you've gone already ahead of me, just talking about how we can apply this principle.
Yeah.
But I just still want to borrow from the idea of the bus,
Yeah.
because I want to know about comrades. Clearly, I'm not a comrade. Hopefully, someday I'll be able to join your team, and run the comrades. But I, in my mind, as you're saying that, Bishop, I'm just thinking to myself, so what's the advantage? You would have trained, right?
Yeah.
If I have trained for 9 hours and I decide to run comrades as the lonesome ranger, what is the benefit of being in a bus as opposed to running alone?
There's people who, it depends on how you are wired. There's people in how they work, they are solo. In their thinking, in their approach, they have a solo approach. For me, a group is important because within a group, when you get tired, you have other people who inspire you. Sometimes also, you teach science. When you are in the bus, when you are tired, you get in the middle of the bus. So you don't have to meet headwinds. Somebody is breaking the wind for you. It gives you a time to recover, because it making because your resistance is less.
This is already a lesson on forces, eh? How do you like that?
Yeah, it makes your resistance to be less. So the amount of energy you apply, it's even less. So it helps you to recover. And also when you are in a bus, there's energy that goes with the group.
Yeah.
They're singing together. Yeah. There's people who are here around you. That says, if you stick with them, you are all going to be there.
Wow.
So for me, it's for inspiration. For me, it's for recovery. Yeah. For me, it's for accountability.
Wow.
So that is why I enjoy this concept of a bus.
I think you are just asking for it, for us to now delve into really what this conversation is meant for.
Yeah.
So when we actually thought about this concept,
yes,
there are students who might be upgrading.
Yeah.
There are students who are at university who follow us as a channel.
Yeah.
There are students who are at high school.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes they find themselves having goals and vision, for their lives.
Yeah.
And they want to accomplish certain things.
Yeah.
And we thought we want to make this channel we want to come up with a bus, the concept of a bus.
Yeah.
And how we want to tie this is that it's exactly what you were talking about, right? Now, creating systems where they are accountable, creating systems where they are community, creating systems. Now, Bishop Mathole, Dr. Ezekiel Mathole, is a well-accomplished academic. I want to tell you that. Can I just read his accomplishments academically, right? He's got a qualification as a secondary teaching diploma that he got from the university, from the Soweto College of Education. He's completed a BA and BTH in honors degree from UNISA, master's degree and PhD in theology, advanced certificate in trauma counseling, advanced certificate in financial management and stewardship for churches from the University of Pretoria. He's done a certificate in community relations and development from PRISA and advanced certificate in project management from UJ. So we're talking about someone who's very well accomplished, who knows what he's talking about. Now, Bishop, I want to come back, to this conversation. Now we are tying the two concepts together.
Yeah.
How can we apply the concept of the bus in relation to our studies?
Yeah.
And we're going to tie this back now to this channel and the things that we're going to do.
Yeah.
Please tell us, how can we?
The people who are in the bus, they have the same goal. which is to finish their marathon and get their medals. So when they join the bus, already they know that common goals.
Yeah.
Now, in this bus, they would have trained in order for them to be in a position to have the stamina, the capacity, the mental strength to accomplish what the bus stands for.
Yes.
9 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, whatever it is, if it's complex. So when you join the bus with your discipline to say, this is not going to be just a walk in the park. I must prepare myself.
Yeah.
So which means I'm going to have a program. I'm going to have a program that prepares me for this marathon.
Yes.
So I know what to do on a Monday. If it's Monday, I do my recovery. It's very, very light, easy, just to shake my body. If it's a Tuesday, I will do what we call a speed session or a hill repeat to build my strength and my endurance. Then if it's a Wednesday, I will say I will do my short midweek run at my marathon pace. Then if it's a Friday and a Saturday, I do what we call my back-to-back runs, which are long runs to build my aerobic, which is my stamina or my endurance, my aerobic ability. So there's different things I do within this program. And every week I increase it by 10% for 3 weeks. And then on the 4th week is my rest week. I start from the bottom and I continue like that. So there's a training regime you prepare in order for you to be in a position to pass this test that is coming at the end, which is a 90-kilometer race. But you don't just run it. You must prepare your body, you must prepare your mind, and you must also build your techniques as you're going to be running. Because on this race, there's moments where you're going up, which is an uphill, it's taxing. There's moments you're going on a flat, there's moments when you're going on a down, which is also taxing. Because as you are running on a down, there's specific techniques you must apply as you run on a down. So the concept is like just when a student is studying. You can't rock up at an exam without understanding your subject and everything else that is the content of the subject and whatever that is required that you must do. It means there are exercises you must do in order to prepare yourself and apply the knowledge that you have. Same with comrades. When we are running, we are applying the knowledge. The knowledge, and not only the knowledge, this knowledge also, we did the practice, the physical training before we joined the bus.
Bishop, there are a couple of things that I'm actually hearing. But first of all, by virtue of joining the bus is not going to do the work for you. Right? So the bus is just there to help you along the way, but you should have actually trained as an individual. Right? There's a regime, a discipline regime that you should have placed yourself under in order for you to be able to accomplish that goal. Right? So to those of you who are listening, this is exactly the concept of the bus that we want to bring into this channel. We want to ensure that for those of you, particularly for those of you that are upgrading, because sometimes, things are left to chance. People would say upgrading does not work, but the thing is they do not put themselves through a disciplined regime. They don't have people to keep themselves accountable towards. They do not have people that they can, ensure that they train with, accountable, So, Bishop, I think that is quite important. And regardless of whether, one is actually upgrading or whether at university, there is a disciplined regime that they need to put themselves under. I remember a time when, I was still a student. I had a friend called Casey, right? His name is Golube. That's his that's his other name. We used to actually be accountability partners at school. And I'm hearing this come out even more as you talk about the bus. So you talked about a disciplined regime,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So there are times, Bishop, where you would feel, you know what, lethargic.
Yeah.
You know, right now, as
Yeah.
you and I are having this conversation, it's
Yeah.
raining outside.
Yeah.
Are there times when you feel lethargic?
Yeah.
And so, how does the issue of accountability
Yeah.
help in those times?
Like we as runners, we've got people we call running mates.
Right.
We train together. In my area, we've got a training group. We call it the Stallions training. So the good thing about it is that we have a program before. We have places where we start to run. We've got routes where we are running. So what happens is that because we have the same groups, because we have a program that we're following, we hold each other accountable for us to show up. You see, the issue is consistency.
Yeah.
It's consistency. Because even at Comrades, you will feel lethargic when you're going through a hill and say, I'm bailing out. Yes, I'm bailing out. So you have to have what we call winning habits. Winning habits are saying, even when I'm tired, even when I'm discouraged, even when I am feeling not motivated, what do? We just say, show up. Just show up. It is sometimes we feel even tired, but 3 kilometers into the run, you get your groove again. You could have missed by staying at home.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of discipline.
Right.
Although when we train in our program, we put in moments of rest, moments of recreation, so that we re-energize. Because you also need moments where you chill, where it's not all about running, where it's just for you to relax, recalibrate yourself, re-energize yourself, so that when you go back there, you have rested enough. So those are some of the things that are very, very important, because we are human beings. Yeah, we are human beings. We get discouraged, we get tired, we get injured, we get sick, but we need to know how to manage those things.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sure. You talked about consistency,
Yeah.
and just being in that group, showing up.
Yeah.
Now, I want to tie this back. I've
Yeah.
just read your resume
Yeah.
in terms of your academic qualifications.
Yeah.
Clearly, you are not lethargic when it comes to studying. How is the concept of being a Comrades runner fed into your disciplines
Yeah.
when it comes to studying?
Yeah. Let's look at it. Comrades is very interesting.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that sometimes when people think about Comrades, they only think about when the day they start at the line,
Yeah.
and then they run the 90 or the 87 and they finish. Now, let me bring you to something else.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to take a detour a little bit, but for you to show up at Comrades, you should have qualified to run Comrades.
Right.
It means you should have finished a marathon, 42 kilometers, within the prescribed time, which is less than 5 hours. So by the time you show up,
We've already been excluded.
so by the time you show up there, there's certain things that they have built in you,
Yeah.
so that you are not rocking up there without having certain disciplines, certain commitments,
Sure.
in order for you
Wow.
to do what you're supposed to do.
Mm.
So this is what running does. Running teaches you as an individual to be an organized person. To say your life is not only about running. Your life has many things that you do. Either you are a parent, like myself, you have a career, you have an extended family, you have other things you're doing in the community, and there's running. So you need to balance all these things in your life. So it means you must prioritize. You must know how to manage your own time and know that this is when I will have family time. This is when I will be developing my career. This is when I will be running. So you put a schedule. So I put my schedule. I run in the mornings when I have a chance. I run in the mornings. So I know that on a day I'm off, I can put in 2 hours. On a day I'm working, I can put in 1 hour. So it's there. And then I don't leave it to chance. So I know that if I have 5 days and I put 2 hours there, I put 1 hour there, already I've put in 6 hours. And in that 6 hours of running, I can prepare myself to say, if I want to finish within this hour, I know the program saying I should have run 42 kilometers per week. And then it means per month, I would have run maybe 160 something. So it's there. It's a program that you set. It's a program that you follow. So it means you are managing yourself. It's all about self-management. It's all about self-leadership.
I'm taking notes.
So those things are there because you know your time. You know what you have appetite for. You know what you want to achieve. But you have to know that you have this time and how do you work out? How do you work everything else that is a priority within the time and maintain the discipline? But with this discipline also, have fun. Have fun. Because fun is an inspiration. You see, I run with people I like and they like me also. So when you're going there, it is not only about running, it's about friendship, it's about interacting. And as you are also running, there's other things you are learning on the route. You can think, you can meditate, you can write down certain things in your mind that after running, you were battling with a specific idea. When you come, you've got a solution.
Wow.
I mean, some of my messages, I get them when I'm running.
Wow.
Maybe I'm thinking about a specific concept, and then as I'm running, because I'm in a relaxed mode, then I come with other ideas. Then I just pen them down after I'm done running.
Yeah. So I want to come back to this issue. And there's so many nuggets that you've talked about.
Yeah.
You've talked about having a schedule.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You follow, I believe, the same regime, a training regime with your team.
Yeah.
So these are the people that help you to accomplish your goals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, coming back to those of you that are listening, remember, this is what it's all about. At the end of the day, even as you are studying, even as you are, trying to accomplish your academic goals, it ties back to all that we've been talking about, right? How do we apply this? We know that we need a schedule. We know that we need to have a program. What does that program help us with? It helps us with self-management. It helps us that we should manage ourselves, but in the process, we have fun. I'm reminded, Bishop, of what John Maxwell actually once said about discipline, which I want to talk about just now. He says discipline is doing something initially that you don't like to accomplish what you desire. But in the long term, discipline then becomes what you doing something that you now like to do, right? So which means there's a point at some point where your discipline started as something you didn't like. You were very defiant about it. You didn't want to do it. But ultimately, you start loving that same discipline, right? And you start having fun. You spoke about the element of having fun. I remember when I was doing my maths and science, when I was upgrading. That's exactly how it started. We have this limiting self-belief that mathematics is difficult, right? And all of a sudden, yesterday I was having a conversation with also one of my students, and she was saying, we started when we came here. We didn't, we were just negative about mathematics or even the concept of upgrading. But now it's changed altogether. So now, by being in an environment, placing themselves in an environment where consistently, now they have a schedule, now they've got a program, now they are managing themselves, but also doing that in a group environment. They're able to now have fun about maths. So I want to come back, Bishop, as we prepare perhaps towards closing, the concept of the bus. And I'm going to address our people just now. The concept of the bus, right? Coming back to time it. You are so well accomplished. I mean, academically, you're an author, you're a great dad, we've seen you as a father. You're a husband, and you are managing all of these aspects of your life, right? the concept of now having the Comrades bus, right? How has it poured in, to your discipline in all these aspects of your life?
It's about pacing yourself.
Mm.
You see. Once you know what you want to achieve and
Yes.
what you want to do, you pace yourself. You see. You pace yourself because your pace says, I will distribute my energy
Yeah.
in a way that is sustainable.
Mm.
You see. And when you have something that you can sustain, then you are in a position to complete what you start.
Yeah.
So for me, I learned that life is about pacing yourself,
Sure.
having a specific rhythm, and when you follow that rhythm,
Yeah.
that suits you according to how you are wired, according to your temperament. You build certain disciplines
Yeah.
in you. Let me make or certain habits. One of the things I've learned about running, if you follow your program consistently for 30 days, whatever you're doing is now becoming second nature because it is now ingrained in your system. If I have to wake up at 4 o'clock, it means, and I do it for 30 days, I don't even need a watch because my body is acclimatized to waking up at 4 o'clock. So those are the things I have learned that I include when I'm not running. I know that in my work, I must be focused. I must have goals. I must make sure that I have follow through to perform according to the deliverables that are required. In my home, I've got my roles that I need to play. I must make sure that I avail myself and work with my wife and we are a team to do what we're supposed to be doing. So the same disciplines, they come into your life. Let's make a simple one. When you are a runner, you are very disciplined about what you're eating. You see your diet because you know certain types of foods, whether they are bad carbohydrates or good carbohydrates. And when you are a runner, you need good carbohydrates, you need good protein, and you need electrolytes. There's certain things that you need in order to ensure that you build your body because you get tired. That is why now and then we even go for physio to have our massage, to have our muscles straightened and so forth, to ensure that we continue to rejuvenate us. So you take the same disciplines to say, hey, I must rest. I must learn to understand that there's certain things at some point I can't handle, but I must come back to them when I'm in a good space, but not run away from them. So these disciplines at the end of the day become you. You see, become you.
I love that.
You know, what you have learned in how you eat, it translates into a frozen egg roll. What you have learned about resting, it translates into you resting as an individual, finding time to rest. Yeah.
Bishop, really, this has been quite an eye-opening conversation.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so for me, I just want us, as we are going to close this conversation.
Yeah.
Sure. I just want to address you at home who may be wondering, why is it that you have not been able to accomplish your academic goals, right? Dr. Mathole spoke about pacing. He spoke about distribution of energy, right? That by simply pacing yourself, you are first preserving energy so that you can also use it at a later stage, right? It's about managing yourself, the energy that you've got. Guys, it's about finishing strong. And I want to say to you that if you really want to make this year a success, I want you to build these habits into what you want to accomplish. And in our channel, we are going to have this academic bus that we want to start. All that we're saying, for those of you that want to get good grades in maths and in science, we want to build a community. We want to build a bus. We'll call it Malume's Academic Bus. And what this bus will help you with, it will help you with pacing yourself. Of course, we know winter is coming. There'll be that time where you feel a little bit tired and lethargic, but Bishop talked about showing up. So we will help you to show up even at those times. But more than anything, We will help you build and cultivate habits of studying, have a routine, have a regime that you can use so that you can get to the end goal rather, and finish strong. Bishop, any last remarks that you want to say? Please talk to the young people. You know, right now you're no longer talking to just me. Talk to the young people. You know, you're a well-accomplished person. You are disciplined in what you do. You know, just any words that you can share with them.
I think what I can say to the young people, I'm saying to you on Malume's bus that you as an individual, you have to know who you are, accept who you are, but don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
Explore things that you are passionate about and make sure that you have a good work ethic. Make sure that you put in the right disciplines. Start small, but grow incrementally until you master what you're trying to learn, what you're trying to accomplish. There will be moments where you're discouraged. There will be moments when things don't go your way. Don't give up. Learn from your mistakes. Have mentors. In running, we have coaches. Coaches who look at you and say, this program is suitable for you. This way of running is suitable for you. And this is what you can accomplish. So you must also find mentors who can help you along the way, who are accomplished in what you want to accomplish, and learn from them and be the best that you can be. You have opportunity, take it.
Thank you so much, Bishop.
Thank you very much.
It's really been a pleasure being with you.
Thank you.
From me, for now, we will see you next time. And I hope that you will be part of this academic bus. And please, if you haven't subscribed, just click on that subscribe button. Make sure that you follow the bus because it will be your gateway to accomplishing great things. From me for now, I'll see you guys next time. Sharp, sharp.